Oh, I can't see.
Oh, live.
Hello.
No problem. Excellent.
So can I move?
You're in the same room.
I know. It's fabulous.
Mick Khan's here.
Oh no. Why?
Okay. I suspect it to be a lie of sorts.
No, Mick would never lie.
No.
Mick.
Well, everyone else can see it here, so, can now. Good.
Turn his volume up.
Yeah.
Have you missed us? That's the question.
Bloody adverts. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say that, are we?
A little bit buffery, but it's fine. Right, must quickly...
What, in general, or?
An emergency...
Because your brain's been buffering all week, so... Is it like that, or is it a proper buffer?
Speed test. Privacy notice. Okay. Speed test. Speed test.
Oh no, that's fracking. I'm thinking of no, sorry. Totally on the wrong thing there.
Well, we've got good download speeds. Come on.
It's fine now.
To the
Moog
upload.
says it's fine. Hello,
to the upload. And we've got good upload speeds. We're good. Hello, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. Moog's got his hand up, waving
to me, I think.
It's waving to you.
Hello.
Oh, okay. So, usual format, which is for me to bibble about my previous week, ask Crimson to bibble about her previous week, ramble about the topic. There's no topic as such. It's question time. It's like Dimbleby Central.
Yeah.
And then more Q&As. So, yeah, it's the Q's for the A's and the A's for the Q's. So,
is that like the A to the Z to the B to the Q? Is that like that?
I'm so sorry.
I'm not doing it again if you're not bothered.
Okay. So, what's been going on?
What's new, pussycat?
Okay.
Let's throw that in there.
Okay.
Do you want me to read you those, or are you happy to read them yourself?
Which?
Discord.
Oh, you can... Anything that's...
Oh, Mick.
Oh, Mick the Machine, super chatting.
Mick.
Good to see you both back on the big screen. Thank you, Mick. Much appreciated. So my brain is still as flaky as
a flake,
a Mary Berry pastry in a shaky, flaky machine.
I would say a bit like flaky skin. I'm flaky sunburn.
I'm flaky like dermatitis. Hooray!
Dermatitis. That's what I would. That's it. That's what I was thinking of.
Flaky like dermatitis.
You big dermo. Get on with it. Abuse.
Wow.
It's what he lives for. Keeps him going. Keeps him awake. Bit of pen drawing. I've got it sus. Talk about your week, Mr. P.
I was trying, and then someone drew on me.
Sorry. Okay. Sensible faces.
Okay. We don't have any of those. So what has been going on? Well, did a bit of painting, a bit. Come on, brain. Released a hobby vlog on Sunday, and I'd done some painting previously. A bit of a bit of Cities of Sigmar, sort of matching back new models to a very, very, very old style, trying to match up trying to make them look better, but still in keeping with the original force.
Don't stand that.
Big cat peril going on there.
Wine gums.
Well, she's chewing a pen at the moment.
I've got a pen in my mouth right now.
A pen.
Wine gums.
Still no sponsorship deal. Although I'm more likely to be sponsored for wine gums than Diet Coke. Still no sponsorship deal. So I did a bit of that. And then it was only about 10 or 12 minutes. And I thought, right, I'll just talk about my Saturday dilemma. And so I just turned the camera on and explained what I was thinking and what I was trying. And a couple of people sent me messages being serious. My health. All right. I think it was.
Lemmy! Lemmy's just sent a message to everyone. Oh, and she's turned my volume off. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. How do I get this off now? Thank you. Lemmy, don't do that again. Naughty. Give her a treat.
I just gave her treats. She's not having more treats. Yeah, so apparently what was in my brain was kind of feverish and insane, so which was a bit of a surprise. Did a bunch of unboxing videos that are coming up over the coming weeks, which was good. Then I thought, right, what am I going to do with my what am I going to do with paint for the afternoon? With paint. What am I going to do with paint for the afternoon? That sounds much worse than what models am I going to paint. So I eventually settled on painting some Night Haunts and only got part of the way through. So I've now got 2 units part painted on my desk. Then also did some assembly of stuff. Finished assembling my Mega Gargant, which is a Mega Gargant I bought myself quite a while ago, so I can totally talk about that. Finished assembling some other models, which I can't talk about yet. Oh!
God! The cat's now vomiting on me.
No, it's just the floor. She's fine. She normally gets down to the floor. And in fact, given what I'm sure, I think the folks might have just seen her sort of vomit head in the corner here.
God. Has it gone in my hair?
She vomited on the floor. She jumped down.
Good.
She jumped down before she spewed. It's fine. Oh,
God.
So some assembling has been done. I've now got several half-painted units, which isn't good. I need to get a couple of evenings to finish those off. And I think that's mostly it, hobby-wise. I unboxed the Warhammer Quest expansion on Saturday. That was an interesting one because it's, what is it? It's a book and a list of things you got to buy. Okay, that's different. How's your?
I was just going to say, do you want me to go next?
Yes, please.
Just sending a message to Moog. Well, it's been all about putting things together for me this week. I have been erecting. Is that the right word? No, maybe not. No. What's putting together? Constructing, not erecting. Two totally different things. Sorry about that, folks.
I used to work with someone whose previous job was putting up telephone masts, and he was a supervisor. His job title was Master of Erections.
He obviously had a secret sideline that no one knew about. But
Well,
anyway.
quite.
So yes, I've still got erecting in my head. What have I? Tell me that I can't remember the names.
Which ones are we talking about?
The big giants.
Oh, you've been assembling man-eater gargants.
Man-eater gargants. I've done 6 of them, and they were all made with love. I named them all. It were all going on.
They've all got names.
They've all got names. Yeah, and they.
Can you remember the names?
I can, but I'm not saying it. So it's embarrassing. Anyway, so I
think you'll find. I think you'll find that people are going to spam you until you say the names.
They will.
People, get on it. Spam. Unleash hell.
Stop it.
It's all right.
You're taking over my part. You see, when it's your part, you forget what you're saying. When it's my part, you talk.
No, when it's my part, you just draw on me.
Anyway, so yes, I've put 6 of those together, and I nearly, really nearly put them on Discord for you to have a look at, but then I thought, no, I'll wait and see if they're all right first. But they were okay. And then I made some scenery. What did I do?
People want to know the names.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. 5 people.
Oh my God. Right. Okay then. So anyone who knows me knows I'm a massive fan of Hawaii 5-0. So it was very boring to everybody else. But I did have a Norman, and I had a Steve, and I had a Danny, and I had a Kono, and then I had a George, and then I had I had an Eric, because that was my granddad's name. Yeah, I had an Eric. So yeah, that's what I did. Put them together. And so if anybody wants any putting together,
don't
I'm
say
your
that.
woman. Seriously, I know how
hundreds
to do
of
it
people
now.
will watch this. You will be inundated.
Send me a private message.
Do you remember what happened with the merch?
Send me a private message. I'm really good at it now. Really good at it. And then I put together, what else did I put together? The scenery, the big arches.
You put together 2 baleful realm gates.
Baleful realm gates. That's what I put together.
Yes, you did.
And thanks, Kev. What a great choice of names. And then I put together
some spider fangs.
Oh, spiders! They were brilliant. I loved doing those.
Some spider riders.
Spider riders. And last but not least, I'm just working on
You're in the middle of a dank hole Troggoth.
That's what I'm in the middle of. That's I'm absolutely in the middle of that. So yeah. So I have the bug.
Well, we sat down before whilst we were waiting for dinner to cook.
I will make anything for you, my darling. You know that. Get it. I will do it. Get it to me. I'll do it. It's not a problem. I'm telling you. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And I like to get all the little knobs off. And I know that's not what you call them, but the little knobs off, and then all the lines. And so, yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist though. So they do take me like a little bit longer, probably. But yeah, I've got the bug, and I've got some ghosts to put together, and a big. What have I got? One of those big that you said was as big as.
Oh, that's an Arachnarok spider.
Spiders.
What are the ghosts?
Love the spiders. I don't know. You just gave me a great big massive. Knobs, yeah, the knobs. Then are they nubs? Are they knobs or nubs?
Nubs.
Yes, nubs. Yeah. So it
don't
was.
Remember giving you ghosts.
Yeah, you did.
What do they look like on the box?
They've got like wispy bits coming off them. I'll show them you. Sorry, mate. Sorry, no. I just got really excited about putting them together because if I'm very honest, this is the first time that I've sat and put
You're doing really well.
Really well. I'm going
well.
to use a word that began with S, loads, but I better not add a job lot, let's just say together.
Shed load.
Shed load, that's what I was thinking of. And finished them off. So, yeah. And then brought them over. I did the little, tell me about the little arrows. I did the little arrows in the back.
Oh, yeah. The man-eater gargants have got arrows stuck in them and birds perched on them.
Ready to put blood on, or it was all going on.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, absolutely, Mick. I'm a good putter together now. I'm good at it. Got my own. I've got new files. Got everything. Proper glue. It's all going on. So that's what I've been doing mostly this week. And planning for Halloween because we're going to have a big Halloween party, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. What's the matter?
I'm trying to think. My brain, it's a one-track brain, and these ghosts are.
Well, I'll show you the picture when I get home. I'll send you a picture. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want my own.
Because I thought I'd assembled all my night haunts, and they're the only things I could think of that are ghosts. But I do have a vague recollection of saying to you, these are ghosts.
Yeah,
just
right.
Because that was the easiest way of describing them.
Proper glue. I am, Joe. I'm loving it. I am loving it. So everybody that's been really kind to me over the last few weeks, if you want a bit of help, I'm your woman. What are we dressing up as Halloween as? Well, you're dressing up as a pirate. Why are pirates called pirates? Because they are.
No.
So you're a pirate, aren't you? And I didn't know what I was, but seemingly I am something out of Enchanted. I've just bought a dress, but it's out of Enchanted, seemingly. So yeah, that's what we're going as. I'll send you a picture of Paul. Put it on Discord for everybody to see.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's been me this week.
Yeah, I mean, we sat down for 10 minutes whilst food was cooking. She said, I want to put stuff together. I said, well, I'm halfway through some zombies. Give me.
And I can't even stand zombies. But yeah, I was just while tea was cooking. So yeah, that's me this week. Mm-hmm.
Right, you're going to have to hit me with some questions. I can't get my brain off what these ghosts are.
Oh,
so you're going to have to hit me with questions.
Okay, then. So, some questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so Sir Hammerlock's Loyal Guardsman. Wow. So, your favourite faction in 40k right now, and are there plans in the works for a campaign in the future?
So that's two questions. Okay, right. Which do I answer first?
Well, the first one was 40k okay. Right now. What is your favourite faction?
Right now, well, I am. I've not done a lot of 40k, and typically, what tends to happen is the factions I am most interested in are the ones I am reading / listening to books about, or I'm getting really into the lore of, and I haven't listened to a 40k book for quite some time. But I would say that my favorite faction in 40k at the moment are the Imperial Guard, because I think they are a ubiquitous storytelling tool. They're everywhere. They're like cockroaches in the galaxy everywhere. Some innocent little orcs or Eldari or little gribbly Gene Stealers want to go and have a little stroll outside. The guardsmen just leap up and go, oh, first rate, fast, fire! And try and brutally murder them all. So they're like the yeah. So I like Guard. There's a lot there's a lot you can do with Guard story wise, and they're not meant to be the absolute superheroes. I mean, if every planet had Space Marines as their standing army, then I'd probably be all about the Space Marines. I like the stories you can tell, and I guess they're relatable because they are kind of us. Sorry, discomfort. There's a lot you can do with them. Although it's one of these things that it's exactly the same problem as Caesar Sigmar in AOS. And I think I had sight of some people chatting about this on Discord earlier. It's, they are the 411 Vendrillian howitzers, resplendent in their gold filigree and ruby red cuirass with gilded magma horns.
Speaking English, aren't you?
Shush. And you open the box for your guards, and it's like, oh, it's plastic Cadians. Okay, so much for the Flamillion magma horns. I'm where I am with those at the moment. When I start painting some of them again, which I'm really into AOS at the moment. That's where my muse is taking me. So it might not be for a while. But it's to do lots of sort of generic guardsmen so I can use them in generic stories with lots of generic chimera transports. And I want to do a 10 Lehman Russ company, and I want to do 10 Sentinels. I want a Sentinel company. Used to be able to have one of those back in 4th Ed. And I want to do everything. The problem with it is everything is a lot. I want to do a company. I want to do a whole company. 5 platoons. 50 men per platoon, 250 points.
Platoon.
250
Easy for you to say.
Guardsmen.
Too many wine gums.
250 guardsmen. I only had the one. Box. But it's disagreed with me. Don't make me out to be a gumalki.
No, you're not. No.
What was the second part of the question?
The second part of the question was, and are there plans in the works for a campaign in the future?
Yes and no.
Could you be a bit more specific?
I was pausing for dramatic effect.
Oh, sorry.
That's quite all right. Now I'm dithering. So I have plans to do some campaigns. The model that I used for the Thondia campaign for AOS worked very well. Get a few individuals with the right factions in the same place for a fixed period of time and hammer out a load of battle reports. That worked really well. And there are plans to do that another couple of times. What I haven't done yet is worked out what the campaigns are going to be. So they might be AOS, they might be 40k. If they're 40k, depends on. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm feeling sort of Death Guard, Imperial Guard at the minute. But that's just what's in my head. I had. That's just a notion. What I want to do is I want to do a balance between the AOS and the 40k campaign stuff. When my brain is so delicate, I have to stick with what I'm
one thing at a time.
What I'm coping with.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, at the minute, my pool of battle reports has dried up, and I'm not really filming any at the moment. So I'm a little bit stuck for content, and I'm trying to do more hobby stuff at the moment. But I'm getting quite dry, and I'm not in the best place to make more of them, which is a challenge because, content train needs to keep rolling.
You just need to stay on the wine gums. Seriously, it's done wonders tonight, that wine gum. That one wine gum before we started, and look at you smiling now. This is it. This is future.
Kevin Carvile is
Kevin.
member for 24 months. I've really missed these rambles. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Love you, Kev.
Thumbs up, Kevin.
Oh, are you ready?
Yeah, you better keep hitting me with them because.
Aaron, are you ready for Aaron's question? What model or army do you now regret selling off in the past to the point that you've considered remaking it?
Wow.
That's my tummy rumble. I hope no one can hear that. That was quite loud, wasn't it? Sorry if you heard my tummy rumbling then. Sorry about that.
Go on, Lemmy, you're trying to get past. Are you trying to get past, Lemmy? Are you trying to get... Now, stare at my finger, stare at the fingers. I'm sorry, you're going to have to repeat the question.
Okay, the question was, Aaron says, what model or army do you now regret selling off in the past to the point where you've considered remaking it?
Wow. I haven't sold a lot of stuff off in the past. I was circa 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I was really on my uppers, and I sold some miniatures, and it was a couple of armies, but they weren't very good ones. But there was so I had a lot of Necrons. I had 100 Necron warriors, bunch of monoliths, pylon, destroyers. Well, basically everything that was in the original codex in spades. And I have since started redoing a Necron army. But I prefer the dynasty I'm doing now to the one I did then. So I guess the one I've started again first are the Necrons. I sold off my Tyranids. Now they were second ed metal Tyranids, and I absolutely loved them. But the game aesthetic moved on, and whilst they were perfect for the second ed era, they didn't particularly move forward well, especially with things like the Termagants armed with spike rifles weren't an option anymore. The gargoyles armed with flame spurts weren't a thing anymore. Gargoyles basically just became flying Termagants. No, the aesthetic of those has moved on. I don't think I'd ever really go backwards to them. The Hormagaunts also looked exactly like Ridley Scott Aliens. I mean, they just did. Oh, my back. The ones I regret selling are my Fantasy Battle Chaos Dwarves. I had Bull Centaurs, I had Warriors, I had the Blunderbusses, I had a Lamassu, I had a Taurus, I had the Earthshaker Cannon, the Rockets, Hobgoblins, the Sneaky Gits. I had all of those, and yeah, they don't make those anymore. But equally, I wouldn't be playing them now because there are no rules for them now, and I'm not very good at going back to previous editions. I used to like those, which is why I got quite a bit of excitement when I was unboxing. What's it called? The Heart of Gur, the boxed set for Warcry, because one of those war bands worship Hashut, which is the old Chaos Dwarf god. It's sort of, if you sort of think Magma Forge crossed with bulls, like ironsmiths, blacksmiths with a penchant for bulls and things. I think I've stopped talking on that now.
Okay, so Mick the Machine. What currently is on the painting desk, and what models got put on the back burner in favour of what's currently on the painting desk? Looking at the painting desk, just while you have a think, looking at the painting desk, it looks like everything's on there. Just everything.
It really isn't. The house is not on the painting desk.
The house is the painting desk.
So currently there are... Oh, God. So on the desk and lined up in the middle of being painted. So I guess that there's sort of like 4 or 5 categories of things there. So in the middle of being painted are a unit of Nighthaunt chain rasps and a Cairn Wraith. They are being painted because I have a game coming up. Again, no, not a game. We're doing a mini campaign based on an article in White Dwarf a while ago between Nighthaunts and another army, and brain crashed, and the Nighthaunts need a little bit more variety in my collection, and I need to paint Ulrak the Drowner, because he's a named character that's involved in that mini campaign. So when deciding what to do on Saturday, I spent a little while going through the Nighthaunts, putting them into little piles of stuff like, I'm never going to paint you, not in a million years. And then there's stuff on horses, and there's stuff that's like ghosts, and then there's stuff that's like chaff.
I think all that like goes into consideration, doesn't it, what you've got? But I think you always say to me when we say, what are we going to do? And you always say, what do you want to do? Because go with what you want to do, because whatever you want to do will make you happy and you'll probably finish. So you do prioritize a bit, but mainly go with your muse.
Yeah. And they got kicked off because, well, so a unit that I was in the middle of that I started doing just to fill a gap, but then ended up being halfway through it, is a unit of 10 Free Guild swordsmen, because they were ready to go, and I didn't have anything else particularly to do at the time. They kicked out some Maggot Kin, because I had a game with my Maggot Kin relatively recently, and I decided, do you know what? I want to paint some more of these. And then I got stuck in the cycle of, well, actually, if I'm going to do these as a batch, I want to do all the mortals together as a batch. Oh, hang on, there's 2 characters I haven't put together. I'll go and put the characters together. Right, I've put the characters together. There's now not enough time to paint these because I haven't sprayed them. So actually, I'm going to have to paint something else. So then I started the Free Guild Guard. And I think that answers the question.
I've got a brilliant question from Cadfile, from Kev. If they asked you to make a Warhammer movie, what would you base it on? I love that question. That's a really good question.
Wow. A Warhammer movie.
Would this be a case of you just putting everything that you like into it, and regardless of what happens, just all the armies that you love, just kicking the spade off together?
Well, there's just so much you could do. I mean, when they interviewed him a little while ago, someone asked Henry Cavill what character he would want to play, and he just couldn't answer the question because there were just too many options. And it's a similar thing. It's so rich. I mean, part of me wants to say Caiaphas Cain, but I think the reason why Caiaphas Cain works really well as a book is he's narrating it and he's telling you what's going on in his head. So I don't know how that would particularly translate. Also, guard stuff is just going to be some of the sci-fi stuff out there, like Starship Troopers and similar. Equally, things related, stuff is very similar to Aliens. There are lots and lots of interesting stories. My current inclination is to say something AOS related. Maybe Gotrek. Maybe Gotrek's confusion at appearing in the mortal realms and then on a quest to go and find a god and kick his teeth in. Maybe, but there's just so many choices. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd probably have to go through a pretty intensive process of brainstorming all sorts of ideas.
Is that like putting them all into a hat and then pulling them out?
It is not.
Checking.
Go through all sorts of ideas, looking at, because a lot of the a lot of the factors around choosing is looking at the stories that will translate well to film. Now, they aren't always necessarily the ones that make good books or good audio or good games, even, because from a film perspective, you have to be able to portray the events by looking at them in third person. It's difficult to know the unknowable or elaborate on the unknowable. So I'm not sure is the answer.
Commander Autism said that he'd like to see a detective movie. I love a detective movie with an Inquisitor and GSC.
GSC the Cult.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay, I did wonder. Yeah. The heresy would be a bit too much for a movie, Aaron says. Be a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, the heresy is, that's a sort of 200-part HBO type thing.
Yeah, Commander Autism says that the Horus Heresy, am I saying that right? I am, aren't I?
You are.
Would make a better TV series than a movie. Very true.
Mm.
Could be the future.
Yeah, my inclination is to say that the Gotrek novels as individual films.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great answers. Sir Hamelot, Mr. Ray, are you looking at adding the kill teams into your 40k forces? Are you looking at also doing some Navy patrol with the Star Striders and Naval Breaches? They're not pants, are they?
No.
I knew they weren't. Yeah.
Breachers as opposed
Not
to breaches.
breaches.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
yeah. I get it now. Thank you. Clarifying.
Short answer is no. I don't play kill team. I don't have enough brain to I don't have enough brain to learn another system at the moment, and as I'm not playing or painting much 40k at the moment, that's not a priority for me. Because kill team's not one of the ones that I'm down to review for G-dubs, so it's not my thing. So no, I'm not planning on that particularly.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Commander Autism, do you have any recommendations for building or painting Eldar?
Oh, that will very much depend on what craft world. Is the question sort of how to paint them or what to paint them as?
It's for building or painting. So any recommendations for building or painting Eldar?
Yeah, might need to clarify that one, and then we'll circle back to the question.
No worries, Commander Autism. If you'd like to pop that in there, lovely, and we'll come back to it. Okay. So Mick the Machine says, "What will you do once you've completed all your current unpainted minis?"
Well, that'll never happen. Because there are many minis I've got.
Many minis.
Mini.
Anybody watch TikTok? No, they don't, do they? No.
Well, millions, but
I
don't think we do.
Okay. It's just that song. In a minute. Haven't you heard it?
No.
Never mind. It's boring.
Okay.
So, and also, after that as well, Mick says, if you had a choice to meet a voice actor for any of the Black Library books, who would it be?
I don't know, meet a voice actor. The one who does the hiring and firing. Because if I could get some of that action.
You'd be brilliant at that. You would be really good at that.
I have heard that before. I remember one time at work a long time ago. This is sort of 15 years ago. I get this email from someone I never heard of. It says, "Hi, I sit on the other side of the office. Me and my mate were talking, and we think you'd be dead good doing audiobooks." And I'm like, crazy stalker.
Yeah, but you have got an office voice.
I do.
You have an office voice that is incredibly deep and low and quiet.
Yes.
And yeah, a bit like that.
Yes.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. Commander Autism says building then painting as all three.
All three?
All three. That's not all three. It's all three.
All three. Well, I guess as if depends how you like painting. I mean, the nice thing with all three is you can either spray them all black and then paint over them black pretty quickly. So what I used to do back in the day was black undercoat, then a moderately watered down black just to get the right tone over the undercoat, and really lash that on and just work it in with an old brush just to get it everywhere. Then it's a case of some light dry brushing around the armor plates. Then it's sort of head, gun, gems, and done. You can do a similar approach with what's it now? With what are they called? What we call contrast paints. So there are a number of contrast blacks, so you could easily do that. The thing with the aspect warriors is it all depends what you want to use them for. So my aspect warriors, I go for all of the I go for all the classic colours. So my striking scorpions are all bright green and yellow. My swooping hawks are all turquoise. But narratively speaking, the shrines, each shrine is different, and each shrine will have a different coloration and pattern. And it's often a combination of the traditional shrine colors and the craft world. The reason I'm saying this is because what it means you might be able to do is, if you are so inclined, if you are so inclined, you can do significant parts of black on the aspect warriors and just pick out things like shoulder pads, helmets, or bits of detail or armor plates, even in the aspect colors. So saving yourself a lot of, giving yourself a bit of uniformity, but black's easy to paint. So it can save a lot of time and doing that. Yeah, that's the word. Stop now.
Okay, Kev's just popping off because he's got to go and walk the dog. Ready, Kev? And Andy, is this? Oh, we've got a few suggestions. Let me just read you these. Got a few suggestions for you. Audiobook. You should do audiobooks. One, because there's only people of a certain age that'll know what this is. 40k Jack and Ori. I love that. That's Murph. That's a really good idea. I love that idea.
Are you ready, children?
Jesus, not to children.
Let me tell you about Abaddon the Despoiler. Abaddon has a little face on his shoulder pad. It used to belong to Erebus, a very naughty dark apostle whose face he flayed off for disobeying his orders. Abaddon then nailed the face to his pauldron as a constant reminder. Night-night, children.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not to children. No, it's abuse. Okay, so Andy says, is this Andy that we saw last week? Andy,
it is not.
Oh no, different Andy.
Different Andy.
Hi Paul, quick question for you. Just join the chat. What battle mat do you use in the Rins War campaign? I just started watching those videos and learning. Imperials. As opposed to that first word.
Aeronautica Imperialis.
Yes.
Let me look. So some of it are the mats that the cardboard ones that come in the boxes. Some of it's that. I think it's a deep cut. Let me just check. Deep Cut Studio. Wargaming mats. I think it's Deep Cut that do the hexagons. Yes, it is. It's from Deep Cut Studio. I think it's called Scorched Sky. It's a good little game, Aeronautica Imperialis. It's not too tricky to pick up, but there are some nuances to it to learn to get your position right and your range with your planes and second guess your opponent. But it's got a little bit more flexibility than X-Wing, because when you reveal your tokens, you've still got some options about whether you go left or right, or whether how far you go before you bank. So yeah, I like it. It's more flexible, whereas X-Wing you can go, and I've gone that way. Oh, and you've gone that way. And give it a week, we might be in range of each other.
Okay, so I think that's, unless I just have a quick look at Discord, and we're just replying to somebody then. Sorry about that. Okay, Joe, Immortan Joe says, if the traitor legions faced off against each other, who would come out on top? Same as the loyalists. Assume no distractions from other factions. Should I read it again?
Nope.
You got it.
Black Legion. Well, technically they're not one of the traitor legions. Well, it's going to be either Word Bearers or Death Guard because they are both still legions. As is the Black Legion, but they're not technically one of the original traitor legions. I'm biased, but I would say Word Bearers. I'd say they have the yeah, but then again, my gut says Word Bearers. But they could easily get distracted erecting 30-mile-high monuments to the gods on a particular planet before moving on and killing the rest of stuff. But they have more versatility in their patronage rather than just Death Guard, just doing the rot thing. That's what my gut tells me. The original legions, I think that's pretty abstract because I've got no frame of reference for them actually fighting each other. I would say the Ultramarines, but they did get decimated. It feels like the Ultramarines because they are, some people would say vanilla, but they are versatile. And a lot of the others are not. And Gilliman is a tactical genius. So, yeah, I would say of the traitors, I would say, because we can't count Black Legion, I would say Word Bearers. Because of size, coordination, and versatility of all the demony stuff they do, which is, a lot, and Ultramarines because of the stableness of their gene seeds, the versatility of their tactics, and the geniusness of their Primarch and his sons using his codex. There you go.
Commander Autism. I've just put a wine gum in. Commander Autism has just followed up. So as a follow-up, do you have any advice for GSC? I'm doing a lot. All I know of for them is that I want them.
Well, I've not done a very large amount of those myself, but from my planning perspective, I'd say decide if you want to go Brood Brothers heavy or not. But they are something you can add in later. My brain for Gene Stealer Cult says by far the most. What I was going to say is the most numerous troops are the most human-looking, the neophytes. But what I'm debating internally is are they the most numerous within the cult? They're the ones that are going to be most closely seen on the struggling with this one. basically, I would go a boatload of acolytes and neophytes, then a bunch of the it's sort of like, I imagine it like a pyramid scheme where you've got the really human-looking neophytes on the bottom, Gene Stealer hybrids with Gene Stealer, pure strain Gene Stealers with the Patriarch at the top, and having sort of loads of these, fewer of those, and then but then again, it does also depend, because the Patriarch uses the pure strain Gene Stealers very sparingly. They are his absolute elite shock troops. So depending on which particular part of the thing you are of the uprising you're talking about, depends on which troops they're going to use, and whether you've got whether you're heavy into Brood Brothers because you're in the uprising and you've spent generations planning it, and therefore you've infiltrated the PDF thoroughly, or whether your army's been pulled into the light prematurely and they don't have all that in place, or they're on a world where there isn't a PDF garrison, like it might be a mining colony or something, and they can't, don't know. Sorry, you're gonna have to hit me with something else.
No, that's fine. I'm just waiting for you to stop, and then
Stopped.
Christian says, Paul, if you don't mind me saying, the way you can tell a story, I think you could develop your own army or legion, to follow. Maybe it would give you a spark again.
Maybe. I tend to get more enthusiasm being able to recreate something that already exists. I tend to find I don't have enough guide rails to operate in when I have free reign, and I go and I don't end up producing anything decent at the end of it. I prefer a bit of structure to work around.
Okay, Aaron says, have you been keeping up with the Siege of Terror? And if so, which books have been your favourite so far?
Nope, I'm afraid not. Haven't read any of them.
It's a time thing, isn't it? There's just not enough hours in a day.
I don't have the enthusiasm for the 40k world at the moment.
You never know.
My enthusiasm. Well, I haven't. So that's why I haven't read them, because my enthusiasm is in the AOS world at the moment.
This is back to the muse, isn't it?
Back to the muse.
Follow your muse.
Okay, how are we looking? We're coming up to the hour mark.
We're looking sensational. Well, you are. We're looking fabulous. Oh, do you mean for questions? You see, another smile. You've got to give me 10 for effort here. Another smile there, everybody. Okie doke. Right. So, no, I think I've covered. Yeah. Or Mick says. Sorry. Yeah, Mick says there's heresy books. Oh, they're heresy books.
Yeah, I know. Well, 40k, 30k. I've got some hairs you can split if you like.
Oh, he's looking down his glasses. Stop looking at Mick Sexy. Why are you doing that? Anyway, moving on. We haven't got any more questions as of yet.
Well, I think that is a good point to start to wrap up for today.
Wrap up.
How are we? Shout outs.
Yeah, thank you. Shout outs, to the lovely Mick the Machine, super chat, and also Kev, although I know he's gone, but he might watch this back. So Kev used his 24 months
channel membership. Yeah, message
that I still can't do. So. Okay. Still can't do it.
Weird that.
I know.
Big thank you to Crimson for all your heckling and corralling and questioning. Excellent as always. Thank you to everyone for joining us, and thank you to channel members and Patreons for your ongoing support. It is warmly appreciated. Any final things before we close?
Yes, I've got a final thing.
What?
Paul Fest 3. Dun, dun, dun.
Paul Fest 3 in a few weeks.
22nd of October.
22nd of October in Tabletop Events in Belper. Be there or be somewhere else.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to do something for charity, well, they could have a game with me. I'm not very good, but if anybody would like to take me under their wing, I think that'd be great. Okay.
Well, on that note, we will see you all in the next one.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.